need to be in your masculine when you are a single mother that needs to work for your children. So you need to provide. The providing role is a masculine role. So if you are hustling out there as an entrepreneur, you are a consultant, you're a freelancer, you are working for Past John, you are a high executive, that is a masculine role that you need to wear because you are a single mother and you need to provide for your children. So you need to do that. Speaking of being a single mother, mother energy as an archetype is also very, very masculine. In fact, mother energy embodies both. It's a masculine and feminine role, which we'll talk about some other time. When do you also need to wear your masculine role? At work itself, when you are working, when you are hustling, when you are in boardrooms, when you are in meetings, when you are actually executing your work, you want to embody the masculine energy because it is the most effective there. That doesn't mean that, we are saying no femininity in the boardroom, not necessarily. I'm just making a really general statement of when is masculinity most effective. The world of work is very masculine. I mean, show me any industry. Show me even first for women, the company, I don't know if it still exists, the insurance firm is a masculine space. Even enterprises that are supposedly for women, they're very, very masculine because the corporate world, the world of work, the world of doing is the masculine work. So you need to embody masculinity there. You need to embody masculinity when you are protecting your children. You need to embody masculinity when there is no masculine figure in your home, when you are the only one. So you need to switch code and be in the masculine. So that's the benefits of a masculine. And I don't want you to feel bad and think that when we say get into your feminine, we're saying leave your job or leave your means of providing for yourself. We are not saying that. We are also saying, and this is what I meant in the earlier video, that, this is what I'm teaching here is the tip of the iceberg. The deeper thing is that as someone who is an executive or very senior in a workplace, especially if you're self-employed, you need to bring about feminine ways into how you do your work. And there's a deep teaching that I do around that, but I'm not going to touch on it here. So while it is very good and it is very beneficial to be in the masculine, being in it for a prolonged period of time is not healthy for you. It's not healthy for us, particularly for people who are in the female body, like I always say. Why is that? First of all, masculinity robs us of proper rest, of proper relaxation. The feminine energy is the energy of rest, restoration, healing, and space and silence and not doing. If masculinity is doing, femininity is non-doing. And we don't know how to do that because we have not been taught to do that, to not do, and it was not encouraged. So as the years unfold, as the world is changing, because the world is changing, AI is here to stay, and it will take that very job. It's going to take all our jobs, especially people in the knowledge space, the professions. Do you remember? Sorry, this is a side note. Do you remember when we didn't care about AI, when it was like, it's going to replace cashiers, it's going to replace tellers, it's going to replace truck drivers? Aha, now it's going to replace doctors and lawyers and accountants and some engineers. Now we are all worried. Anyway, back to the topic. So the world of non-doing is the world of feminine. Sleep is a feminine thing. When you are sleeping, getting restored and all that. So when we are constantly in the masculine, we don't get deep into rest mode. I have a client, just to give you an example. I have a client, she's self-employed. She's a businesswoman, actually, not more than self-employed. She has a business with employees and all that. And she's introducing where she says either winter or summer, she's not sure. She wants to take 2 months off, and not just for herself, for her entire team, so that even her clients know that their business have a cycle. There's a cycle where we don't do anything. No one works. It's required, because that is a feminine way. You look at the seasons. We are in South Africa, we are about to get, or rather in the Southern Hemisphere, we are about to get out of winter. We are entering spring. After spring, it's summer. After summer, it's autumn and winter. That is a feminine way of doing things. So this thing, every day, Past John, and day in and day out, year in and year out, where you get 15 days, or if you're lucky, 20 days of leave a year, and just a weekend and a lot of work is masculine. So one of the things that, and she is now going to establish, is to say rest, and proper rest is just as important as productivity. People need to know in the company and clients in advance, calendar ya bona, or from this month to the end of 2 months, we are not working, you can't find us. And I was like, my word, girl, I'm in real. And she's like, yeah, no, but all thanks to you. I was like, but those are I remember in one of the videos saying to you that I don't even think that the world or people understand what we mean by doing things in the feminine. Can you see now that it's not a bubble bath thing? To be feminine is to follow the feminine way, to follow the moon way, to know when it's time to shut down and to know when it's time to be active. And the activity of the feminine is a different activity of the masculine. It's completely different. It's not doing, doing, doing. It's creating. It's creating. It's allowing things to unfold instead of actively doing them. So femininity is not here. Femininity is inside out, while masculinity is outside in. Okay. So yeah, I lost my trail of thought. Let me go back to my notes. Yeah. So perpetual masculine energy robs us of that deep, deep, deep rest space. Okay. Which means it robs us of, it disconnects us from our intuition, because you cannot tap into your intuition when you are doing. When you are doing, you are not in your intuition. When you are slowing down and stopping, then that's when it's like, okay, can I rise up as the feminine energy or not? It will never rise up when you are here overthinking, typing, Omo, meeting, Omo, you are busy, you are that, nothing. Again, it's masculine, nothing wrong with it, but the intuition will never rise up. The intuition is the one that rises up when you're sitting in a bath or taking a shower or just lying and you just get an epiphany. That is the intuition. And it happens to men and women. It happens to men and women. The moment you are in, you're giving your nervous system a chance to stop so that then the feminine energy can rise. So yes, it keeps us exhausted, masculine energy. It disconnects us from our intuition. Masculine energy, it also keeps us, it absolutely, absolutely disrupts our relationship space. Now, that is a module on its own, but it robs us from relating well with our men. Because a relationship, unfortunately or fortunately, does not operate on same. It's like a magnet. Remember that magnet that we used to have back in high school, the north and the south, and then if you put south and south, they would repel. No matter how you do it, no matter how you do the thing, it would just keep repelling. I remember because I would insist on making north and north, and they would just, the moment they get together, they just repel. But then when you say north and south, it just goes goop. So a relationship works like that. A relationship requires that there's a masculine and there's a feminine energies. They have to be in place. When there's the masculine and the masculine, which is why what's happening? We have a rising rate of single women who are living alone, with their things, the things that vibrate, that I cannot mention because I'm too old to mention such things. And then we have a lot of philandering men, who are just also either philandering or just resigned. Like Abadi Game, they don't approach, they don't initiate, Abasheli, Abadi mix, because south and south, north and north. So for a relationship to work, there has to be a masculine energy and a feminine energy. And I'm not in any way saying that the woman has to be always the one that's in masculine or in feminine and the man. But if this is a man and this is a woman, let the man be in his masculine 80% of the time and tap into the feminine 20. And when you are home, remember, you use masculinity when you're at work, when you are outside the home by its very nature is a feminine space. It's a very feminine space. I mean, think about it. A home is feminine, it's nurturing, it's comfortable, it keeps you warm, it's soft, it's whatever. The structure might be masculine, but the inside of the home, it's like so cozy. So it's a woman's terrain if the woman is the one who embodies the most masculine, the most feminine, right? So when you step into a home, you need to remember that I am in my feminine space, it should immediately, you should have a trigger that says, okay, I'm now in feminine space. And I'm going to use myself as an example. When I was in Joburg, when I was a hustler in Joburg, back in my 20s and 30s, and I would be working so hard, I would be living in my car, and I don't mean being homeless, living in the car, I mean always driving. And I being always in my car, dropping this, going to this meeting, going there, going to the supplier, delivering this, sitting with the client, blah, 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 going to fetch my kids. And every time I would, get into my complex, the townhouses, wherever I would be living, when I drive in, and we get out with the kids, we get into the house, the first thing I would do is I would take off my high heels. For me, I didn't know back then, Jorge, that's a ritual. High heels, feminine as they look, are very masculine. Because when do you wear high heels? When you want to do what? Firstly, when you go to work, and when you want to be in your power, when you want to be in your powerhouse. And when you want to be out there and seen in a different light. But when you want to soften, the first thing that goes is the high heels. I'll take off my high heels already at the door. I would then go into my bedroom and I would ask the children, like, Nana, just give me 10 minutes. And mind you, back then I didn't even know that I'm doing a ritual of stepping into the feminine. And then I would change. It would bug me. I could never understand people who come back from work. Okay, fine, you'll take off your high heels, but they would then start cooking. Answer Johnny. Answer, there has to be a switch of change of armor. So I'll take off my work clothes. I'll take a shower because I've been in the car for that long, and I would just wash the day away. And then I would wear either whatever, a pajama or something comfortable. And then I'll be so refreshed afterwards. And then I'm nice to my kids, and then I'm starting to cook. So you have to have a ritual that makes you get into the feminine. It has to be your specific rituals. There are many. I have many rituals. When you join me on Patreon, you'll find them because I have a lot of teachings on Patreon. But you create your own ritual. I know of women, my sister does this, and Eliana, she didn't know she's stepping into a feminine. My sister used to say that, and I know she's not the only one because I think another woman once told me this. After work, she would drive. I mean, after work, she'd get into the car, drive to home. And when the minute she parks the car, she does not get out of the car for a good 20 to 30 minutes. My sister says she'll be listening to music. Sometimes she'll just be quiet. Like she just wanted quiet. That is you switching gears. But when you are aware that that's what you are doing, you will appreciate it more and you will cultivate it more because femininity wants you to be aware that you are stepping into it. Okay, so that's one of the ways that you switch roles. I want to just check my notes again because I think I went on to a tangent. I hope it's a good tangent. I feel it's a good tangent. Let me just check my notes. Yeah, so let me circle back to the relationship. You want to have one who's in the feminine one and one who's in the masculine for this to happen because that's what happens and the dance to happen and your sexual life to be even healthier because usually when there's this even when you have sex it is really just to relieve yourselves. It's not so much that, oh my God, I'm held and all. It's not beautiful. It is mechanical. It is just meant to relieve and it really just gives you surface satisfaction, nothing deep and lasting than when one is in the feminine, really in the receiving, and one is in the giving. Labon, which is why it is so, so critical for men, especially men who are in a situation where they're not providing like you, where financially they're just not strong because of the dynamics of the country we live in and the world we are living in. It is more important. It is also important for men to actually start picking up on feminine traits and just to understand them. Not so that he's a sissy and or weird and whatever, but so that he can then be the one that balances you. Especially if Maria, I'll do a separate video for that. This topic won't end, Mus. I think I need to give it deserves its own video where we are talking about a man stepping into his feminine, tap into your feminine trait and to do it in a way that makes sense for both you and your partner. And this is in a relationship space, but also for yourself. Because once again, guys, you also have a feminine energy within you, and you can tap into it for your own enhancement, for your own deeper understanding and intuition and all that. So in a relationship, if she's highly masculine and she's providing and she's protecting and she's doing whatever, you want to step fully aware and conscious into the feminine. Because if you don't do it consciously, you turn into a child. You become a child. She infantilizes you. Because one thing about masculinity is that it either feminizes or it will infantilize. It will make you a child or it will feminize you. What do I mean by masculinity feminizes? When men are sitting together, when men there's a group of men, né? And are all masculine, there's always the lead. There's also always the alpha, the one who's the most masculine, because they have degrees, and all the attention goes into that. If another one steps up and he's more masculine than all of you men sitting, he feminizes you, not in a bad way. It's just that all the attention goes to him. I don't want to mention names, but there are some podcasters who I've seen this dynamic happen when the men are talking amongst themselves, and I'm like, he just feminized all of them. Very fascinating for me to watch these things. Okay, so that's why as males, you also want to understand feminine energy so you can tap into it so that it can make your relationship work better. So there can be this, and it's going to be very, very good for your sexual life. Because I know you guys value the sex. I know women love sex too, but I think it's different for men. It's a whole other level. And I say this with authority because I'm doing studies on sex and sexuality as well. It's a whole other level for men. Monna ka o tlhoya ha o ka mo tima. Ha o ka mo tima perpetually, a ka o tlhoya, sir. Topic for another day. Back to my notes. Another reason masculinity is harmful for us is that it is a big part of our hormonal imbalance. It just messes with your hormones in a very, very, very strange way. And that's because we don't rest enough. We are not quiet enough. So hormonally, when you get into perimenopause like I am, chaotic if you are in your masculine. When you go on your menses, for younger women who still go on a period regularly, your PMSs are more intense. You are emotional chaos. You have menstrual cramp, masculine energy. You are in a masculine energy, but your body is saying, I'm so feminine. It's chaotic. So that's a big, big, big problem. And then lastly, sexual energy. We don't embody a proper feminine sensual energy. We embody a sexual energy like the men. We have sex the way men have sex, which is, yeah. I think I must do the topic, that video on sex, but it won't be now because I'm still studying. It will most probably be sometime next year. But yeah, it's harmful to remain in the masculine energy. So I think let's do another video where I am finally telling you how to get into the ritual of becoming feminine. Okay, next video. Yes, next video.